episode 387. Episode 387.
God dang, we getting up there.
The TheFaisonViewPodcast. We getting up there. My co-host, my brethren. We in the building. We in the building today.
All right, I'm done. Well, you never know what you're going to see. That's why I keep Twitter up when we pod.
Timberwolves. All right, Timberwolves, they just beat the Nuggets. Game 7. It was a bunch of Game 7s. The Knicks, they weren't healthy. Sadly to see, I really wanted the Knicks to actually win.
I think the Knicks just ran out of gas
and go to Eastern Conference Finals.
Because they weren't healthy the whole series. And
yeah,
they
for
were
sure.
still taking it there. I think they just ran out of gas.
And then a lot of people look at the Coach Thibodeau for how many minutes they played. Josh Hart, like it was crazy to see him sit out 1 minute of the game. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
but also we seen that before. We seen it with Derrick Rose.
You know what I'm saying? Joker did it last night.
Yeah, but that's rare for him though, and that's a must. And that's you have to have Joker the whole game. You know what I'm saying? And also you need these pivotal players too. But when you don't have depth or you don't have a bench in the playoffs, that makes a difference.
I just didn't think they would get smoked. I just thought. I think they just ran out of gas. Honestly, 'cause I just thought with the way they were playing and the momentum behind them, plus they were in the Garden. Mm-hmm. I just thought it would be more of a fight at least.
Halliburton stepped up.
He did.
That was
the
difference.
Pacers legit show they legitimately can beat the team, as it was constructed, as they were in front of them. And if I'm being honest, I don't know if Julius Randle makes them better because if you see him in the playoffs, he turns into a completely different person in the playoffs. Like it's so 180.
Healthy Knicks beat that team. Healthy Knicks beat that team. We just playing hypotheticals and ifs. But
healthy Bucks beat that team. They got there because
what team?
The Pacers.
That's fine. We're not talking about Boston. He always want to talk about Boston. I'm about to say, don't stop with this Boston talk.
I said the Bucks.
Because they got the easiest road to the playoffs.
I think the Pacers had the easiest road.
No, y'all had the easiest road.
They faced
Y'all faced the hurt Heat.
Okay, they faced the hurt Bucks.
And then who did y'all play after that?
Y'all
just played the Cavs. Y'all played the hurt Cavs.
They got hurt in the series.
No, Jared Allen was already
They played the hurt Knicks.
Donovan Mitchell was already hurt before. So
he played 2
games.
And
then guess what? Y'all, who's the number 1 seed? Who's the number 1 seed?
Us.
Okay, y'all played.
But that's why. But
y'all
see,
didn't play.
I don't like this whole easy road thing because we legitimately showed all season we were the best team regardless.
And guess what?
And everybody said we were going to beat the East.
That can remain true with you still having an easy schedule in the playoffs. Y'all can still be the best team, as we know.
In the words of Ime Udoka, I'm not going to apologize for winning because I'm on record here saying that I did not want to play the Heat without Jimmy Butler. Yeah, I was on record here saying that.
Just because you say it don't make it.
I was also upset that the Cavs got hurt. I don't believe Caris LeVert was hurt. A part of me felt like they were quitting because I was like, I refuse to believe all y'all just getting hurt at this time. Like Spider, maybe because it was a Cavs thing. Okay, I get that. Mm-hmm. Allen was already out, and then when Game 4 came and they said LeVert was like, all right, come on now, come on, man, really? Mm-hmm. Now Caris LeVert hurt, another key player. Like, come on, man. So part of me was kind of
y'all did what y'all had to do. The Mavs and OKC, I'm surprised by that series. The Mavs are doing their thing. Luka and Kyrie, they're figuring out their duo.
The fact that the Mavs are there makes me feel like they legit can beat the Timberwolves.
Yeah, because
the fact that they're there.
But listen, they have the matchups for it too as well. The things that set the Wolves apart is the matchups, their size, their defensive capabilities, and then what they can do on offense. Almost all of their starting five scored 20 or scored double digits. Mike Conley, the veteran. Cat showing up. Gobert, when he hit a fadeaway shot last night,
I knew it was over.
I said
when he did that, and even Ant said it. When he did that, I said, it's
if
over.
you have Ant going 6 to 24, and y'all don't finish that game as the Nuggets,
what really did Denver in was, one, no one else stepped up. It seemed like Joker and Murray were the only ones that wanted to win the game. I'm watching Aaron Gordon, and I'm watching him just sit there.
Porter, they disappeared.
I'm like, go get a rebound, AG. Like, what are you doing?
They disappeared.
And then Gobert, when Gobert really started catching fire, like not even just point wise, he was cleaning the glass. He was hitting his free throws. Mm-hmm. And then when he hit that turnaround, I said, "Oh man!"
I knew it was over once they ended the third quarter with that Ant hit a 3 on Aaron Gordon and made it 67-66. I said, "Yeah, this over."
You in the third quarter?
This up.
In the third quarter, it was like, but yeah, so that was disappointing to see. I was like, it seemed like no one else had any fight on that Denver team. It was like, come on, man, y'all, come on, y'all not going, no one else going to try to step up. But credit to the Timberwolves, man, really credit to them because they really could have packed it in. Mm-hmm. Down 20 at the half.
And down 3-2.
Down 3-2.
Got to go back. Got to go home and win back at their crib for Game 7.
They really could have packed it in, man. And shout out to the Timberwolves because and I'm not here for any ant slander, but like he did not play well, but his teammates really they really stepped up like they're supposed to. Like it's gonna have those.
And what I respect
but he affected something that's not talked about enough. At least not with my team. It's like when your stars aren't scoring well, that does not mean they're having a bad game. There's other ways to affect the game.
Defensively.
I've seen Tatum do it. Ant was doing that. He was playing defense. He was rebounding. Like
he shut Murray down the whole second half.
He wasn't scoring no points, but I don't think I don't think that means he was having a bad game. He was affecting the game in other ways, and I think that's not talked about enough. We see when guys, as soon as we see the score, we or the lack of points, we immediately go, well, he's not playing right.
Well, he didn't have a good game.
I mean, like if you watch the basketball game, you can attest if he's not having a good game or not.
So who do you got in this? You got the Wolves versus the Mavs, Western Conference, Eastern Conference. You got the Celtics versus the Pacers. I want the Wolves to win in that matchup against the Mavs. I feel like
I want to see the Wolves in there.
I feel like that's going to be an exciting finals to see. All the amped around the Wolves and also Ant Edwards this year. Celtics Pacers. I just feel like me personally, the Celtics have got too much firepower for the Pacers. They can. I see them getting 2 out of there, but the Celtics are just a better team. I see Wolves and Celtics. If I'm being honest,
I see Wolves Celtics. I would love to see Wolves Celtics. Number 1 offense versus number 1 defense and number 2 defense. Like two very good teams that match up well. They play defense. We play defense. They got size. We got size. They got depth. We got depth. I like it. I love the fact that somebody young is going to get a ring for the first time. I like that. I also wouldn't mind, Mavs versus Boston, because then you get Luka versus Tatum,
and then you get
Kyrie versus Boston. I guess if that's still a thing or whatever. But yeah, so that would be cool.
I can see that too.
So I'm not tripping on who comes out the West. But I will say I am favoring the Timberwolves more. Like I don't want to duck smoke or anything like that. I don't want nobody to say, "What is the easiest?" Like, listen, I want my.
And I feel like a lot of people want to see that and Jason Tatum matchup.
I will say this: I am on record saying this, even though the media's been saying this. Without Porzingis, we cannot win. I'm not gonna make the excuse because we have to win, but I will say this: without Porzingis,
it makes a difference.
Yeah, it does make a difference.
That's why I have the Wolves the favorite to win it all, because their depth, and then I think about it. Other than Mike Conley, all of them about 6'6" and above. And all their positions. You got McDaniel, who's a strapped defender. You got Naz Reid, who's an impact six man of the year. You got Ant Edwards, of course. You got Conley, veteran. Cat and then Gobert doing their thing.
That finals would go crazy. Yeah, we match up so well. Yeah, that finals would go crazy. I'm like, hey, listen, and I thank you for admitting this, because there is so much hate, like so much hate in there that people were just lying. Like Pacers, I'm like, y'all do not want to watch the Pacers in the finals. Yeah. Like, stop lying. It's okay.
I don't like Boston, so I'm not going to be rooting for.
Just tell me you don't like Boston, but don't lie to me.
I'm going to be rooting for the Pacers.
Yeah, don't lie to me and tell me. Yeah, man. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. We want to see Halliburton. You do not want to see Halliburton get his first ring. Stop it. You don't. Y'all be lying. Y'all want to see either Tatum or Luka get it. Y'all don't care about Halliburton.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, man. But like, I don't know. I think it's just like you said. But I always said this. People say it's an easy road. But listen, I always said this. You need a little luck to win a championship. You need it. You need some luck to be on your side, man. It hasn't been on our side. Maybe it is this year. But like, you need it. Like
you do.
So you definitely need like some things to just go your way. Like you need like a role player to just go for 30 one night out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, you need those type of contributions
like,
in the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's
Aaron Gordon had 27 one night.
And to that point, that's how the Mavs actually got to where they were, because P.J. Washington had those 2 phenomenal games. You need those role players to step up.
You need it. Like, that's what Dwayne Wade even said it. Like, yes, Dirk was giving us 27-9, and Jason Terry was hitting mad threes off the bench. But what really killed us, we had no answer for J.J. Barea. We had zero answer for him. It happened to us last year in the ECF. Like, all of a sudden, Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent were Michael Jordan. They couldn't miss. I was like, what is happening? Like, and that's what's dangerous about a Game 7. Because it's like, you don't know what can happen. I've seen it happen. Like, we did it to the Bucks 2 years ago. Grant Williams was catching. He made like 9 threes. Like, you don't know what can happen.
Those type of players are important.
But you need it. Like, you see D White cooking. Like, you need those type of games. Well, a role player just out of nowhere just turns into Kobe Bryant.
I think speaking about role players, I'm happy to see Bronny. I'm happy to see the good press he's getting because Bronny, as critical as a lot of people was talking to him about what it was about. He was actually great in this combine. He actually was excelling in this combine, and of course, it's a lot of pressure on him. Of course, he's LeBron James Jr. But he's actually stepping up to the plate, and I think he knows his role.
Yeah,
and that's why I feel
like
like it's a great thing.
I like that. I like that
role.
He sees. He's being realistic about what he sees himself doing.
Correct.
Like he sees himself being a Drew Holiday and a Derek White, and those are great things to be. Like he's not aspiring to be like his dad. Like I don't think he sees himself being that. Not that he can't be that, but maybe he doesn't see that. I still personally think he needs to do another year at least.
But I think those players have a longevity in the game too. Those role players have a longevity in the game.
They
then
do.
also now, I feel like now he's experienced. He's experienced the NBA Combine. Now I think it's too far gone to go back. Just you test the waters.
But now I also like the fact that he's not not really hung up on trying to play with his dad. Like that's really his dad's dream.
Yeah.
And it seems more like a pressured thing at this point. Now that he said it, it's not really a thing that he wants to do. He's like, I kind of just want to play.
Yeah,
I don't really think about playing with my
crave
dad.
his own path.
But in my head, I'm like, I never thought Bronny wanted to play with his dad. Because I'm like, it's a lot.
It's a lot of pressure. And
even if he wasn't like LeBron James, like playing with your dad is still.
And you're always gonna have that stigma of this is how you got in the league. This was your welcome.
That
you know what I'm saying? That plays a part.
Like he's your teammate, but he's still your dad. You know what I'm saying? Like that weird dynamic of like.
And it would be great to see, but it's just like for him
imagine how
that's
you know what I'm saying? And then he'll probably still be living at home his first year in the league, and it's like that can be a lot. So I don't want that for him, but I hope it all works out.
So I think I honestly he definitely gets drafted. I don't know if it's in the first round.
He's gonna get drafted. Mainly
his draft stock
I hate that.
Went up.
I hate that because he's gonna get drafted because they know whatever team drafts him gets LeBron. That's why.
And it's like that's why I say it's always gonna be like a cloud under Bronny because he's always going to have to be shadowed.
Yeah, and then because of that, does he end up in the starting lineup when he probably doesn't deserve to be in the starting lineup?
Right, and people are going to be looking at that.
But he's in the starting lineup so that LeBron can be on the court. But we don't. I hope it doesn't get like that. But we just don't know. Before we move on from this, we got to talk about the call. I know me and you agreed on it, but
what?
Shai Gilgeous.
SGA, that wasn't a foul. But
listen, based on how the NBA calls it, that's not a foul. The NBA says if you hit ball first, then that's not a foul. And he hit ball first. I can see why it looks like that because he's a double clutch. But I'm like, it'd be one thing if he went up for the shot and got blocked. He came back down, went to shoot it again, and then he hooked his arm. That's a whole different shot. That was the same shot still going up.
Yeah,
and he tagged ball and he got it all the way down. I'm like,
I don't think that's a foul, but I get
it. It's so close. But I'm like, based on how y'all been calling it, it's not a foul.
But also, I can't say that too because they put themselves in that situation.
They were up 15.
Come on, so that's why I was just like I didn't really debate it a lot because I don't like when teams or fan bases complain about calls, especially when your team is up.
Yeah, I was wrong twice. I had Knicks Denver. I had Knicks Denver, and I was wrong twice. But I had missed the fourth quarter of the Mavericks game. I was on my way to the movies. I went to go see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and then I saw the aftermath.
I gotta see that joke.
I saw the free throws, and then it was over. But I was like, that's why I kept asking on the chat. I was like, who fouled PJ Washington at the 3-point line? Yeah. So I was like SGA, and I was like, oh snap!
It wasn't.
And then
that was
I
just
saw the call.
That was just a. I mean, that was just a freak play right there because it's like anything could have happened in that play, but I mean, whatever. They shouldn't have put themselves in that situation. Really NCAA college football is coming out. I'm excited. Releases in July. Come on now. Come on now. Shout out to the Michigan Wolverines.
I feel so bad.
The champions out here. You know. I'm gonna be on that game every single day for a good 2 weeks straight. Come on. And that's fine by me. And that's fine by me, bro. This has been since 2014. And also, it's good that we now have in place college players getting paid for their likeness and name, NIL. Even though people may not be happy with the dollar amount, they're still getting paid for their likeness. You know what I'm saying? They're still getting their recognition. They got their names in the back. I like the rollout. I like the trailer. I like Travis Hunter on the front cover. Donovan Edwards.
He's on the cover.
Yeah, like it's dope. It's dope. And I think it's time. I think it's time to start revisiting not only the football games but the basketball games as well too. I feel like everybody deserves their shine and recognition, because imagine if it was a women's basketball game out, NCAA, you playing with all these Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, or stuff like that. You know, I feel like now I feel like we're in the space where we should see a lot more college games, because for real, the market is there for it. I feel like it's gonna be a lot more people playing college football than Madden.
I think it's going to turn into the same thing it's always been. Like, first of all, this is the same company that makes Madden. Madden doesn't give you a new Madden every year. I don't know why you think they're going to give you something new here. They're going to take the same formula they got in Madden and just paste it over here with.
Yeah, but you don't play sports games like that. So.
I know, but I don't, because I know how they play. They're gonna play the same.
But you got. I understand what you're saying, but not all of the gameplays have been the same. I can't say that. Not all the gameplays. Have
based
been
on that
the same.
trailer, it looks just like that.
And honestly, in my opinion, and me playing both, NCAA never reminded me of Madden when I played. That's what I liked about the NCAA
yes, but
games.
now it's different now.
Oh, we gonna see. We don't know that.
EA is going to be
don't
lazy.
Know that either.
The same they've been lazy all this time.
I'm gonna be there to see. July 19th, I'm gonna be there to see it. But before the pod, we were just talking about like different activities. Like, back when we was young, what we did when we were outside, going outside.
So old saying that.
Yeah, but it's crazy because we didn't come in the technology area until
we grew up with technology. We didn't grow up with. We grew like technology. We didn't grow up with it. We had to, like, it was growing up while we were growing up.
Yeah, facts.
Like,
it was
still had
like technology was
like
aging while we were aging, like gracefully. So when we got to that point where it was different technology, you know what I'm saying? We was already teenagers or in high school.
Facts.
So like. An activity that I think could be turned into an Olympic sport, I think for sure, bringing in them groceries. That's to this day, too. That's to this day. Still, I'm only taking one trip. I'm talking about like groceries, bro.
Bringing in groceries.
I'm not taking one. I'm not taking but one trip. That definitely could be an Olympic sport. I'm not sure if it is already, but we were just talking about this.
Breakdancing is.
Breakdancing.
I think it's supposed to be in it this year.
Is it jump rope Olympic sport?
I don't know about jump rope, but I know breakdance is supposed to be in it this year. I don't know if it still is. I haven't heard much about it, but I'm hoping it is.
I think it's a lot of things we could have made an Olympic sport for real.
That was my number one pick. Breakdancing would be my number one pick, but it's happening. So.
Bro, nah, you remember the funnest times is when I used to play at AAU, bro, and we used to be in the hotels and we used to ding dong ditch, bro. Nah,
dodgeball.
Dodgeball for sure.
That needs to be an Olympic sport.
I think if it's not already, I don't know. It's
global dodgeball or kickball will be fire.
Yeah,
and I would try out.
Nah, dodgeball for sure.
I would try out for kickball and dodgeball. For sure. Global dodgeball will be lit.
And what's the dodgeball like? Like, say it's like pins behind it, and you gotta knock down the pins.
I don't know about that. I know the basketball one.
Nah. It's like, but it's dodgeball. You on either side. You can really. It's still dodgeball, but like the objective is to knock down. Like, it's like not pins. It's like I forgot what it's called, but it's basically like pins up, and you gotta knock them down. Nah, dodgeball for sure though. That guy there going dodgeball. The memories of dodgeball.
They don't let you play dodgeball in schools no more, man.
Yeah, they don't. And it's crazy because in school no more, like I don't even really think, I don't remember like the last recess.
Why don't kids? Well, I mean, they
probably have recess, now. But I don't know.
It's
what
like 30 minutes, and they don't.
And probably most of them don't even want to go outside. They probably just want to be on the pad.
They don't let them. No, I mean, a lot of them do. Some of them don't because of the allergies. But like for the most part, like don't be nothing to do besides run around and talk. I got my kids playing kickball now. They loving it. They loving it. Like they look forward to it now. I had them playing TV tag today. They never even heard of it. I was like, what? And I taught them how to play taps last week. They enjoyed that. Like
four corners.
They love four corners. I'm like, I could not believe how many girls did not know how to double dutch. It's like a culture shock to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, growing up, every girl knew how to double dutch. Mm-hmm. It's like a rite of passage. It's like a thing that they just all knew how to do. So I'm like, to see that some of y'all don't even know what that is. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
like, how did no one, like, we losing recipes. Like, how did no one teach you this? And I already texted my sister and my mother. I was like, yo, y'all know how to double dutch? Y'all know how to double dutch? They're like, yeah. I was like, keep that skill because I have daughters. Cause
yeah, that's true. That's
like,
true.
I just could not believe. Some of the older girls, like the 7th and 8th graders, know how to double dutch. I was like, all right, at least y'all learn. But I'm like, I can't believe it. I can't believe that even some of y'all don't know how. Like that was like a thing. Every black, at least every girl.
It was some things that
knew how to double dutch.
You just needed to know how to do.
Yeah, like it was crazy. That's how they became friends. It didn't matter if you went to a new school, like. Everybody knew how to double dutch, so that was just something the girls did.
And as guys, if you never played 33, some people call it 21, or ever played throwback tackle.
Jackpot.
Come on, jackpot.
Jackpot was my favorite.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't play those games, bro, it don't get behind the bleachers during the varsity games playing. Bro, come on now. Those were the good days. Those definitely were the good days.
I'll be trying to pass the recipes on to my students every now and then. I'll be trying. I'm definitely gonna pass them to my kids.
And bro,
especially that 33.
And since you start talking about like kids and children, what recently went viral was a father jumped 7-year-old girl's father after school to teach her a lesson about bullying his daughter. So essentially, he said he went through all the steps with the other parent and the daughter.
He didn't call the police.
But he didn't. He didn't go through all the steps personally.
Yeah.
A lot of people reacting was just like as he should. But when you really think about it, is that's not setting an example for the 7-year-old child. Now, and also puts your life in danger because guess what? What if that father, what if that family retaliates? Then next,
or retaliates to your daughter.
Yeah, or retaliates to your daughter. You put your family in jeopardy. Then you put yourself on the camera. And you know what I'm saying? And telling on yourself. You know what I'm saying? We understand that you're trying to protect the child, and also I want to protect my daughter as well. But in these moments, these are learning moments. They are still kids. It's still room for development and growth and a learning experience for them as well too, where it could be sat down, or if it even had to be taken that far, I guess you call the police.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like. We didn't hear if he contacted the board of education. We didn't hear if he went through these proper steps to continue now. Now the little girl has to go back to school, and then you never know what's going on in there, or how the shareholders look at your the father now.
You're gonna have the girls fight if you went through everything else. Cause it's like bullying is, if it's physical bullying, like if it's verbal bullying, that's one thing. Like verbal bullying, I'm not saying that verbal bullying is okay. Like you gotta go through you gotta weigh every option. Not that, like not jumping the father. Like we're not doing that. But like, you gotta weigh every option, even if it's take your kid out of school, which I wouldn't do because I'm like I don't want my kids to think they just cut and run. Is the answer. But I'm like, if somebody's putting your hands on you, the reason he's bullying you is because he feels like you're not gonna do nothing back. So the next time he puts his hands on you, I want you to ball your fist up and hit him across his face. And if y'all got to fight every day, y'all fight every day. Because at some point, it's like, something's got to give. Either the school going to finally intervene, after I try to get y'all to intervene, because y'all tired of them fighting, or your parents are finally going to get tired of, like, listen, your son keeps... I'm like, well, I try to get you to stop, so now they fighting every day. Because your son keep picking on
because to your point, at what point in time does it stop, especially if it's a physical thing? You're not going to keep hitting my daughter, and you're not going to keep hitting my daughter, so I'm
gonna tell her, listen,
fight
back.
So now, if they hit you, they invade your personal space.
And if they don't, then we gonna have to. At some point, somebody's gonna get.
But also, like with that being said, too, I agree with that. But also, you have to understand it's a time and place. I'm talking about to the action he exhibited. Yeah. I think it's just a time and place.
And I wouldn't.
And then also, that's not something that needs to be recorded. If that's what happened, we didn't need to know that information. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to know the information. I respected him because he wanted to step in. That's his daughter, and he feels strongly about that. Agreed to that. But it's how you go about it.
How you go about it.
It's really just how you go about it.
Because you're teaching your daughter that violence is the answer.
It's not.
And I know I sound hypocritical, but I'm like, with bullying, it's like it's different. Bullies are bullying you because they feel like you're not going to do anything back. And the second you show them that's not the case, they tend to move on. Like they're not going to keep bullying you because they know you're not a weak target. Mm-hmm. But like what you're showing your daughter is like, well, if I just go get outside people to jump them, then that's the issue. I just call my dad and he'll jump them. And it's like, no.
And then the reality world, bro, it's honestly, it's 99.9% are gonna retaliate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be a situation where somebody's not gonna retaliate.
What that parent gonna do, man? That parent might come to your house to the school with weapons and all types of stuff. Like, what? You done jumped him in front of his daughter? Like, his pride is now hurt and all this other stuff.
Now the daughter can't even look at the father as a hero because you did that to the father right in front of. Oh yeah, come on.
Oh my gosh.
Come on now.
That just wasn't the move, man.
And everything, like we said, a lot of things are best unsaid for sure. In my opinion,
this is the second thing we've seen that didn't need to be on camera.
I'm gonna need people to speak up now. Yeah. I'm gonna need people to speak up now.
Slim Thug did. I like what Slim Thug had to say. He walked everything he said back. He's like, I apologize, Cassie.
Yeah. Because there was a lot of people out here victim shaming just because every time somebody comes out as a celebrity, and then also you have the victim, does not mean they're just in it for the money.
Yeah.
And that's the problem too. We go straight to the victim shaming, and condolences to Cassie for actually reliving this moment because this happened in 2016. Diddy was caught abusing Cassie.
Who knows how long it had been happening?
And this is sick. It's sick. And what's really sad is that when Diddy apologized, he didn't apologize towards her. He just only apologized because he got caught. This happened in 2016.
Yeah, in 2016. But I think, first of all, I personally believe this happened because King Combs, his son, was poking the bear when he rapped against the Feds. He was talking about the timing of it just seemed so me because this is my thing. The reason why I think that it happened that way is because I think this is more of a it seems more of a character. They're trying to destroy Puffy's character because they know they can't charge him, but they still put the video out.
Yeah.
Because legally, the statute of limitations is 1 to 3 years in LA. This happened in 2016. So legally, they cannot charge him.
And the hotel came out and said that.
But it's like 50 says but the public can't unsee what we just saw.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is bigger than just trying to throw him in jail. This is like they're trying to like destroy his character.
And guess what? Rightfully so. Because there's a lot of things that's been going on behind the scenes that is going to come to light.
Rightfully so. But I just think the timing of it was like, oh, you talking like that? Watch this.
And one thing's for certain though, money can't buy you everything.
Nope.
It can't. Because this is your character out there now.
That was
what I was saying that was disingenuous about the apology is that he wouldn't have been apologizing if he wasn't caught. You feel me? And then also previously before that, he was just talking about his innocence. 50 Cent was just reposting that. You just talking about your innocence, and voila, this happened. And to stay on what you just said about his son, why would you make a song telling the feds that we had this right next door. Y'all ain't even look at this house. Putting yourself out there. And it's just nasty. And it's nasty behavior.
And then like 2 days later,
and whatever consequences come with this, he rightfully so deserved them because guess what? That video was disgusting.
It is
disgusting, and it's even more disgusting because guess what?
The way he has her on the ground.
He has daughters too.
Yeah,
you feel me? He has daughters too. You have a mom. You have a woman in your life. Imagine that. Imagine somebody doing that.
He just
not only did you throw her down, you kicked her, dragged her, and guess what? We don't. And the craziest part about it is that we don't know what happened after they went back in the room.
We don't know what happened before when she was trying to escape. We don't know what happened before.
And what's nasty is that's how you know somebody has too much power and control because he run out in a robe in a public hotel.
In a hotel, just.
In a public hotel, nobody, like anybody could have been out there. Ran her down, threw her, kicked her, dragged. Like, bro, what?
Snatched her down kicked her twice. Like, started throwing stuff at her, and then when she tried calling on the phone, he pushed her. I'm like, yo, it was horrifying to see.
And it takes a video for people to actually react.
Yeah.
It takes a video for people to actually care. You know what I'm saying? It takes a video for people to actually apologize.
Yeah.
So it's messed up.
But I think it does take that.
And I understand. Yes, it adds more evidence to what is being said, but also we should have not taken for her word.
Yeah, we should. I'm not saying believe people off rip, but I'm not saying discredit people off rip either. Like, and don't just be like, because there was a part of me that was skeptical about it until he paid her immediately. Then I was like, oh,
come on, that's telling right there.
Then I was like, wait a minute.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly. And one thing that you had to respect about Cassie is that people always keep saying that, oh yeah, well she should have just got out of that situation.
You don't know the type of trauma she's been dealing with in her marriage.
This man has so much power and control. He's one of them ones.
Yeah, like
yes, you have choices, and you all have choices.
It's been some years since she's been with Diddy. Like, she's been married. She got 2 daughters now. So it's like, for her to, like, you know, go through this, I'm like, I can only, and seeing it on video, I'm like, I can't imagine the trauma that she's probably dealing with within her marriage.
And but guess what? But
for her to finally have the nerve to finally,
but I'm just saying, even trying to
put a case out there.
But guess what, Hugh? Even trying to get help in these circumstances, because the people that you look at to help you, they're being controlled by the same person that's controlling you. So. Yeah. It's fear in everything. You can't just sit here and say, "Oh yeah, well, she was in it. She did what she did," and just be like, "Okay, well, just victim blaming." No. She's went through trauma.
You don't know how that was surfacing within her own marriage to the point where she finally decided to, you know, pull the trigger on this whole thing. Mm-hmm. It's been a couple years. Oh, yeah. But I also don't like, before we move on, it's like I hate when these things happen and people try to bring other folks in it. It's like keep this where this at. I'm seeing too many tweets of treat Diddy how y'all treat Chris Brown. I'm like, why are we even talking about Chris Brown? It's like what are y'all talking about? Right. Ooh, Jay-Z be beating Beyonce. Like, what are we talking about now?
We're talking strictly about.
Like, what are we talking? We are talking about what Diddy Combs did to Cassie in this video. Like, stop trying to point this at other people and what happened. It's like yo, man, like that stuff is nasty to me too. It's like, yo, we need to keep this strictly on what we're seeing. Or what's going on?
Because it takes away from
what's happening. Nobody needs that, and other people who are completely innocent, like within the midst, they don't need that. It's like what I do. Right. You be sitting at home with somebody, now your phone blowing up, like all what someone else did. Like what I even do. But yeah, like I definitely prayers to Cassie. Like we said, I mean, nothing can happen with this, but. We don't know what this will do, like, publicly. I mean, he's already lost so much stuff. Like, so definitely, I think more consequences are coming. They may not be legal consequences, but you never know. I think maybe they might. If they got this, there's got to be more evidence of something else somewhere. Yeah. It just has to be.
Yeah.
For CNN to have that, there just has to be more evidence.
And it was sporadic. It just came out of nowhere.
I'm like, it was done on purpose because there's no way. Because we've been not talking about Diddy for a while now. But I'm like, hey, ain't no way I just got this. Y'all ain't just get this footage.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. Y'all had this footage for a minute. For a minute. And y'all sat on it. That's why I'm like, Combs opened his mouth and they decided to just.
And that's what make me look at a lot of people funny because it's just like that. You know what I'm saying? This information.
I'm like, y'all had this footage.
Y'all been had this information. So that just shows you that we dealing with some other type of people in this situation.
See, I think CNN had that footage for a minute. Or whoever had it.
Right.
Finally did send it to CNN or whatever. And I'm glad they chose CNN. They knew not to send it to TMZ.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we want this to be credible. We want you to know that this is real.
This is wild.
We're not sending it to TMZ. Don't question this at all. This is happening. Mm-hmm. And then people start pointing the finger. Oh, well, in this time, I told Van Lathan about this, and he acted like this. I'm like, what are y'all like? This is just nasty. Right. What are y'all doing right now? Then we start blaming people. Or well, he tried to protect them, and
that's the problem. We can't stay focused on what's actually going on for sure. You never stay focused on what's actually going on. Hugh, I want to know 3 songs that give you the chills every time you hear it. Ooh. Like. These songs resonate with you anytime they come on. 3 songs.
Victory Lap.
Victory Lap. Okay.
By Nipsey Hussle. Love that record. I'm gonna go with The Message by Nas.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
And I'm gonna go with Dead Presidents by Jay-Z.
Okay.
Either version, 1 or 2, it don't matter.
I
think Dead Presidents belongs in the museum.
Mine's is Erykah Badu. Didn't you know? I think that's me personally. I think that's one of the greatest beats ever produced.
J. Cole spoke
that. Didn't you know? Man, Erykah Badu.
Too deep for the
that
intro.
one resonate with me every single day I listen to that.
Yeah.
Another one I would say. Is this tough? But I would say one. It would be Drake, Wu-Tang Forever. That's a song that is always can be played. And then for the nostalgic, as far as like R&B, I listen to this song often. Is something I would say either Usher Nice and Slow or Usher Jill Scott My Way. Yeah.
Good picks.
Yeah.
I respect. Yeah.
Soulful.
Something about that victory, like
I like. Yeah. I like soulful music.
So gifted. I'm a type that's go. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, that victory lap resonate every time too. It's certain songs that just resonate and hit you every single time you hear it.
Status Symbol 1 by him is one of those too. I'd be like, man, he was going crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of music that's out right now. There's so many albums I have to replay. I just finally finished Rhapsody's album today. I sent you the Wayne record that she got.
Yeah,
I gotta replay it again.
Album too.
I gotta play it again. I gotta play Conway album again. I gotta play Gunna album again. I gotta play Ghostface album again. It's just like, gosh.
Yeah, it's a lot of good music out there.
Yeah,
definitely a lot of good music. Hey man, much love. Road to 400. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We out of here.
Yes.